Hello friends, welcome back. Now today we shall talk about the second topic in the first unit. The name of the topic is metaphysical poetry. Now the word poetry is known to you. We have several kinds of poetry as lyric poetry, sonnet, epic, ballad, odes. The same way, we have a kind of poetry that is known as metaphysical poetry. Now, first of all, we need to understand the word metaphysical. Why it is called metaphysical poetry? Literally, meta means beyond, and physics means physical nature. Now, combining these two terms, meta and physic, means metaphysical, it gives the meaning that is beyond the physical nature. Now, it has a very close connection with philosophy, religion, etc., and that is why it sounds a bit difficult. But doesn't matter. The explanation of the whole topic will give you a clear idea about the terms as well as the subject. The roots of the metaphysical theory goes back all the way to ancient Greece, and the phrase ta meta ta phusika means the things after the physics. Now, metaphysics means that the things or the subjects or the ideas that are beyond the physics. Physics means physical nature, means the things that are existing in the world, that the things that we can see, observe, we can comprehend, and the topic here is metaphysical, means beyond all these things, that is beyond our understanding, that is not having the physical existence. In other words, we can say it is somewhat abstract, that doesn't have the physical existence, and that is why it is beyond it. Beyond means away from that, or back from that, and that is why it is somewhat different. So the things after the physics, things beyond the physics, and that is why it is metaphysical. The term metaphysical was first used by Augustan poets John Dryden and Samuel Johnson. Now, meta means beyond, physic means physical nature. This means metaphysical gives the meaning beyond the physical nature. Right? Metaphysika means the things after the physics. The term metaphysical was first used by Augustan poets. Augustan poets means the poets belonging to the age of Augustine, and the names are John Dryden and Samuel Johnson. These two philosophers as well as writers, they used this term metaphysical for the first time to reprove. Reprove means to admonish or rebuke. In Gujarati we call ઠપકો આપવા માટે, to rebuke English and continental European poets of the 17th century. We are talking about the period of 17th century, means writers writing in English environment, English society of the 17th century. They wrote about the subjects that are related to unnaturalness, and this unnaturalness was not accepted by these Augustan poets, namely the John Dryden and Samuel Johnson, they used this term for those writers, those poets of the 17th century who were writing their poetry on the subject like this, that is metaphysical. Means their unnaturalness was exhibited as well as they raised voice against those subjects. Now, what is unnaturalness here? Unnaturalness means not being in accordance with normal human feelings or behavior. Normal human feelings means the feelings that we normally have, they are natural, they are normal. But some feelings are that they are related to religion or some supernatural concepts or subjects, and the behavior according to that, that is unnatural, and such subjects are being dealt with by these poets known as the metaphysical poetry. And that is why the Augustan poets Dryden and Samuel Johnson, they tried to reprove these metaphysical poets. So they have some arguments, some logics against these poets, and they have something to say about that. Let us try to find out the difference of the poetry written by these metaphysical poets. Now, metaphysical poets are writing their poetry on the subjects of religion as well as philosophy, theology, right? All such subjects are not commonly dealt with by common poets, or generally not written on the subjects by normal poets, and that is why they are different. Now, the founder of the metaphysical school was John Donne, whose poetry is remarkable for concentrated passion, intellectual agility, and dramatic power. This is very, very important. Now, first of all, who was the founder of this metaphysical school? School means group. Here, school has a meaning, that is group. So, metaphysical school means metaphysical group of poets. The founder means the beginner, the pioneering poet was John Donne. This name we have to remember because he began this genre or this system of writing a poetry in this fashion. So John Donne, whose poetry is remarkable for concentrated passion. These are the terms to be concentrated upon. Concentrated passion means passion like junoon, jusso, which is very concentrated, means pinpoint concentration was given to passion of writing. Intellectual agility. Agility means liveliness or alertness, and that is regarding intellectuality. Intellectuality means the intellectual identity of human being, and it is associated with dramatic power, means the narration has some dramatization, and that gives a different identity to this metaphysical poetry. So John Donne became the pioneering poet. He became the beginner of this new fashion of writing poetry named as metaphysical poetry. The metaphysical poetry arouses a reaction against the romantic excesses of the Elizabethans. Now, Elizabethans means the era or the period that we have seen in the earlier lecture, that the Renaissance impact could be felt and seen in the writings of the Elizabethan writers, particularly the poets, because Elizabethan literature is the literature marked with very beautiful and great poetry of romanticism, and that is why these romantic excesses they exhibited in their poetry is known as the uh, romantic poems of the Elizabethan age, and that was uh, to be reacted like this, that shows the subject matter not of romanticism only, but about some topics related to religion, theology, philosophy, etc. So John Donne became the first writer, and so he is the beginner or the pioneer of this school. John Donne, along with similar but distinct poets such as George Herbert, Andrew Marvell, Richard Crashaw, Abraham Cowley, John Suckling, and Henry Vaughan. These are the names to be remembered for you, that they are the metaphysical poets in company with John Donne. So, John Donne is the beginner, and these are his contemporary poets who followed the tradition established by John Donne. So, George Herbert, Andrew Marvell, Richard Crashaw, Abraham Cowley, John Suckling, Henry Vaughan, etc. There are some other names also. Uh, all these writers developed a poetic style in which philosophical and spiritual subjects were approached with reason and often concluded in paradox. Paradox means contradiction. So, this is the base from where the understanding of the metaphysical term as well as the metaphysical poetry should be understood. So, the, they developed a poetic style in which philosophical and spiritual subjects, philosophical you can understand very easily, and spiritual means something related to religion. So, philosophy and religion, these are comparatively difficult subjects for all men or all human beings. So, these are the subjects which were approached with reason and often concluded. So, these subjects were approached with reason, means they were dealt with logicality, reason, intellect, means it is associated with the intellect of the human being. So, reason was there, and it often concluded, means it ended in paradox. Paradox means contradiction, means uh, there are several things that cannot be understood very easily because they have contradictions. Contradiction means opposition. On one hand, we try to say one thing, and on the other hand, the same thing meant another thing. So, there is a kind of contradiction. In Gujarati, we call it virodhabas. We say to do that thing, at the same time we say that you don't do that. So, this is contradiction, whether to follow or not, this is contradiction. So, this kind of things were written or exhibited in this genre of poetry, and that was named the metaphysical poetry. Now, these poets used the concept of metaphysics to explore philosophical ideas. They were exploring. Explore means to deal with, dealing with. Dealing means they were talking about these topics, these subjects. They were philosophical ideas, such as human thoughts. Now, these are the subjects, or these are the points that these poets started talking about or writing about. So the first thing we can say that they talk about human thoughts. Now human thoughts means manviya vicharo. So they don't have any particular identity. They don't have any physical existence. Means human thoughts are abstract in the human mind, and that is why it becomes abstract for us. Abstract means amurt, that cannot be seen, that cannot be observed, that cannot be perceived. So it is to be understood, it is to be felt. So these things are first of all human thoughts. Then love. Love again is an abstract word, abstract noun. Religion. Religion means uh, adhyatma or dharma, we can say. So it is also an abstract idea. And morality. Morality also is an abstract noun. So all these nouns, all these terms relate or give the meaning that is abstract. Means they do not have any physical existence on this earth. We cannot see them physically present, and that is why they are abstract, they are philosophical, and that is why they are metaphysical. So the word metaphysical leads us to understand the meaning of those things that are not existing physically on this earth, but those things we have to perceive, we have to understand, we have to uh, accept in in our mind, in our understanding, in our psyche. And that is the difference between the subjects of normal poetry and metaphysical poetry. They created, means these metaphysical poets created metaphors to explain or simplify these ideas, and used reason and paradox to explain them. Now these poets, means John Donne and his uh, co-members, means the members of this group, George Herbert, Andrew Marvell, etc. They created metaphors. Metaphors, you should understand that metaphor is a figure of speech. In Gujarati we call it rupak. Means that there is a comparison. Now comparison means the poet is trying to compare one idea with a thing that is existing in the world, or uh, comparison between two abstract ideas. So here we will find the comparison in the name of metaphors. So they created metaphors to explain or simplify these ideas. Means which ideas? Those ideas related to human thoughts, love, religion, and morality. These ideas are tried to be explained or simplified in simple terms with the examples given in the metaphors, and used reason and paradox. Now this is somewhat more complex, that they are using reason, means logic, and at the same they are using also paradox, means contradictions. So reason is also there, similarities are to be shown, and there is contradiction to explain them. So these metaphysical poets, they tried to present such ideas related to human thoughts associated with love, religion, morality, etc. And these subjects are explained to the people, or explained to the audience with metaphoric explanation and reason with paradoxes. This kind of poetry differs from lyrical poetry in the sense that it describes some serious thought. Now, as I mentioned in the very beginning, that we have lyric poetry, we have sonnets, epic, ballads, odes. The metaphysical poetry differs from lyric poetry because lyric poetry has the presentation of feelings of human heart, but they are simple to perceive or simple to understand. Whereas this metaphysical poetry has the subjects which describes some serious thought, means the thoughts presented in metaphysical poetry, they are serious means in Gujarati we call it gambhir has the reference of religion or philosophy or something related to birth, life, death, non-existent things, supernatural things. All these things are difficult to understand because they are not seen, not perceived, not felt, right? And that is why they are serious. People normally do not talk about it quite often, and that is why they are known as serious thoughts. It is introspective, it is self analytical, and overloaded with conceits. Now, these are three more terms we have to understand, we have to concentrate upon. Now, let us try to understand these terms. It is introspective. Introspective means it is meditative or thoughtful. Introspection એટલે આત્મખોજ. ગુજરાતીમાં સરસ શબ્દ છે આત્મખોજ. Introspection means one should try to find one's existence within himself. So we are supposed to meditate. Meditation એટલે મનન કરવું, ચિંતન કરવું અથવા ધ્યાન ધરવું. This is meditation. So meditation is an abstract concept that we cannot see it on the physical level, but it is to be understood and experienced by one's own efforts. So this metaphysical poetry is introspective. Then it is self-analytical. Self-analytical means it is to be analyzed one's own self. So it has the relation of self-analysis, and it is overloaded with conceits. It is overloaded with conceit. Conceit means extended metaphor. Now, this is a good term to be understood, and we have to remember it because this is the term metaphysical poetry is based upon. Conceit is the term used in metaphysical poetry only. Nowhere else you find this. Now, metaphysical conceit means an extended metaphor that makes an outstretched comparison between a person's spiritual faculties and a physical object in the world. Now, this is the term. Conceit means it explains spiritual faculties. Spiritual faculties means things or ideas or subjects related to spirituality. Spirituality means Adhyatma Shastra. So the subjects related to life, birth, death, what happens after death, rebirth, all such subjects that are related to religion, spirituality, that are related to the terms we have in Gujarati, dharma, adharma, do's and don'ts about the spiritual concepts, all these things, and they are compared with physical objects. Physical objects means the objects that are existing on the earth, means those things that are really on this earth and those things that we have in our mind. Now these two aspects are being compared uh, in the discussion of this poetry, and that is known as metaphysical conceit. So conceit means comparison, right? So when there is a comparison as a figure of speech means alankar. As a figure of speech, we use the term metaphor. But this metaphor is somewhat different from the normal metaphor that we normally use in our writing. That is, it is an extended metaphor. Extended means um, extended to a further level, means concrete with the abstract. That is that is extended metaphor, where the comparison is not between abstract and abstract, not physical and physical, but physical and abstract, and that is why it is extended. So metaphysical concept means extended metaphor in terms of the comparison that is outstretched, means not normal comparison, but it is extended comparison between a person's spiritual faculties and a physical object in this world. Means one thing is in our psyche and another thing is existing in the world. So living entity and non-living entity. So this is the thing that we need to understand. Okay, so let us stop here, and in the next lecture we shall talk about the characteristics of metaphysical poetry. Okay.